right, what up guys? We are at Twisty Tom's Casa, Tom's Garage. And this is how I transported the oil over here. We got AMSOIL V-twin oil change kit, and then they make transmission fluid and the primary. You could just get the same if you want.
It's the additives, just so you guys know, that matter when you change that stuff. Transmission, you're choosing transmission, you should put at least 1 quart of the primary in there. Now, if you have to add more, you can use the regular oil, but at least you have a quart with the additives for the primary. Right. It does make it shift a lot smoother with the AMSOIL.
Yep. And so the first thing we're doing, obviously get it leveled out up in the air. We're gonna loosen this and we're gonna drain that. And we're gonna go from there. Man, they turn nice and easy.
Yes. Inch-pounds of torque. None of them are too tight. None of them are seized up. And you do have under there, if you want to get under there and show them so that they see, right here, I don't know if you can tell, but right here, directly under the primary, is the drain plug for it. The plug that's in the back, way back here, in the very back, that's your oil. Then on the other side, directly under, is your transmission. If you're just going to do the oil, make sure it's the one that's facing backwards, guys.
Yeah, people have unscrewed the wrong one before, and that's a bad day. And then the transmission side is behind this cover.
It's right here where my hand is, right here on the bottom over here, if you can't tell.
And that's the bottom part. The top part is behind this cover that we're gonna have to take off, because that's where the dipstick is for it. And that's the oil dipstick, obviously. Alright, as y'all can see, loosen the bolt. Carefully, if you just rode it for 40 minutes, it's probably hot as hell.
Hot as shit. I'm gonna burn the hell up myself.
It's like a pull and run. And FYI, it's a 5/8 to get that bolt off.
Let's get to. Oh, we got this.
We're gonna be brave.
That's hot.
And you always want to check the bolt to make sure there's no metal shavings on it. Looks like there's a little bit. Not too bad.
That's fine. As long as it ain't big chunks on it. You ain't got no big chunks. See that? Can't feel them. It's fine.
Then we're good.
O-ring's still good on this one. That's the way I was taught old school, man, was if you can feel them, they're too big. So if you go like this,
as long as they're,
and you can feel it, it's too big.
As long as they're not long and stringy too, right?
Yeah.
So that'd be hole number 1 emptied, and then we're gonna take off this baby, derby cover. And typically there's a little funnel that Harley sells for these.
It's a rip-off. It's a rip-off.
You can get them off Amazon for really cheap, or you could just do it the way Tom's about to do it.
They're a rip-off, guys. And you'll see why in a minute. Just another way for them to make money. Oh, you want to do your own oil? You need a special funnel. No, you don't. Now, after your 5th or 6th time of doing this, guys, see this rubber O-ring?
You want to always inspect it.
You want to always inspect it, but after 5 or 6 times of doing this, you probably want to have one in the garage just in case. And that's how you adjust your clutch. Is this right here.
Then clean around there. My bike's not that old, so it's not that dirty.
No, it's nice when it's this new.
So you got that 15-year-old Harley, that thing's gonna be all kicked up probably.
Yeah, after about 25,000, yeah, it starts to get a little bit.
Yeah, it looks great in there.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful.
All right, so you're just cleaning the hole that it goes in. And remember, it's a 5/8. And when you put it back in, if it's forceful, don't keep twisting. It's gotta be smooth.
So what you will notice from Harley, because this has not had it done before.
And that O-ring's good, right?
Yeah, O-ring's fine, but you see that little bit of thread lock they put on there, that soft thread lock?
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes they put a lot on there and you gotta wire brush it off. You don't need it. by the way.
Back in the day, they used to, right?
Yeah, well, they used to vibrate like a son of a bitch back in the day before they had rubber mount engine mounts.
And 90% of the time, those O-rings you need to replace, but obviously mine, it still looks brand new.
Amazon, $4, you can get about 50 of them.
And honestly, this only needs to be changed, I think, what, every, is this 5,000? The transmission's 10,000?
So it's the way that the Harley manual does it, and I want you guys to listen to me, and I'm gonna explain something to you. Okay, because of all the new EPA regulations. You take a 2011 Softail, and it tells you every 5,000 miles to change your transmission, your primary, and your oil. And then you get to 2018, and it tells you every 5,000 change of oil, every 10,000 change of primary, and every 20,000 change of transmission. Now, why is that, guys? Anybody know?
Ding, ding, ding. Bank.
All right, so I'll give you the answer. It's because of EPA regulations. The carbon footprint for Harley-Davidson has depleted since they told you you only had to do it then. Me personally, I do all three of mine every time because it'll last longer.
Yep, so you don't necessarily have to follow what the manual says. And mine was done by Harley at my 1500. So I didn't necessarily have to, but I wanted to put all AMS oil in as well. And that's typically torqued, I think, to 20 pounds probably.
It's in around. It's an oil plug. Anybody that knows has been doing this forever. You just tighten it to where it's nice and
just
snug.
a little hugga-dugga.
Yeah. If you don't know, then absolutely torque it. If he wants to torque it, we could put a torque wrench on it. I have inch and all the way up.
You know people are going to be in the comments, he ain't torqued that.
I did not torque that because it's an oil plug, guys. It's not a head bolt. You know what I mean? It's not a crank. It's an oil plug.
It'll be fine.
Let's see your...
So this, you got the blue lid, V-twin primary fluid.
And it's gonna take at least a quart. And if it takes more than a quart, then we can put a little bit of the regular in there. Now, this is where they tell you you gotta have that nice special funnel that goes in there that costs about $25 at Harley. Watch this.
Oh, that was so hard.
And don't worry about overfilling it. You know what happens if you overfill it? Take a guess.
Gonna come right back out.
It just comes out the side.
But these, they typically say you should be able to eyeball it and see. You want it at the kind of bottom lip of it.
You ain't gotta worry about overfilling it. If it's a little too much, it ain't gonna hurt it. It can come up. You see down there at the bottom lip?
You can see it right there.
As long as it's gonna ride up your clutches, it's fine.
And that's probably the only benefit to the little stupid Harley funnel is it's easier to turn this and get it all in there, but it's, you know, it's not a big deal.
See that?
Or you use your finger with a glove.
Or without a glove. Unless you're a sissy like me.
Me, I hate stuff on my hands. I had someone put in the comments one time, they're like, gloves, really? I'm like, shut up.
Well, that's why I said a sissy.
So you can see it's right down there where it should be. That's what Harley calls for.
See, it's on the bottom where that plate is gonna turn. It's gonna get on that plate, which means it's gonna get on your clutches.
So boom, primary knocked out. That simple, guys. Then you take this and there's a specific pattern, you tighten it in.
Just like a car, it doesn't matter where you start.
All right, so yeah, just like a car, you're gonna do a star pattern. It's very self-explanatory, easy to do.
If you don't know how to put a tire on a car with lug nuts, then you shouldn't be changing the oil on a Harley, guys. Just FYI.
All right, we got that on. Now we're on to the oil.
And it's gonna be hot too.
5/8 again. That backside bolt that faces towards the tire. Careful not to burn yourself.
Yeah, it's still hot.
We drove about 35 minutes to get here.
A lot of thread putty on that.
Thank you, Harley.
Yeah. Well, they all go by a book, you know what I mean?
Well, what's crazy is the manual doesn't even call for it. The manual doesn't call for any thread anything, so I don't know why they put it on there.
Well, you can see it, look. Look how much they put on there.
Maybe they're being lazy and didn't want to change an O-ring.
Under your oil cap, so it lets the air out.
So you want
There we go. Oh, it's pouring now. Look at that.
You want to loosen that so the air releases and your oil comes out easier.
I'm gonna get this stuff out. Thread putty.
Yep, see the little white stuff in there, guys? You want to get that off. Usually use a wire brush. All right, y'all, so you take the wire brush, get all that white.
Take that off first and inspect it. You see it's kind of torn all around it. I don't know if you can really see.
Oh yeah.
It is torn.
So you want to replace that and also clean a little bolt with the wire brush, get all that white stuff off. You can use a knife or use a tiny flathead.
This white putty you can get off with a stiff toothbrush if you want to. I don't have a toothbrush out here. So.
Not your own toothbrush, but you know.
Well, you can. I mean, if you want to be a real mechanic.
And you want that nice and clean because you don't want that junk getting in your oil.
No, you don't. And if you look, there's my $4.50 count right there. Oh, there's one on the outside. We can just use it. Where did that come from? That's funny you said.
Is this your toothbrush, Tom?
No, I have no idea whose toothbrush that is.
All right, so these pack O-rings, really cheap on Amazon. Just throw them on there.
Oh, my glove broke. What am I gonna do? My hand's gonna get dirty.
Good thing you're not a gynecologist.
I'm telling you. Yeah, that might not be too good. Or a proctologist.
Still draining. Let it all drain.
You go to a dealership, whether it be car, whether it be motorcycle, anybody, they won't sit and wait till that stops draining because the faster they turn you around, the more money they make, the less they have to pay their hourly individuals. So just remember that if you're going to a fast lube oil change or whatever, because they can do it in 15 minutes doesn't mean they did it right.
Truth. And the reason why we're doing this, myself, me and Tom doing it, because Harley charges like over 500 bucks for a 3-hole change. This was like 100 bucks. All right, y'all, we let that drain, put the bolt back in with the new O-ring, made sure it was all clean under there. Again, you could torque, don't necessarily have to. It's on there with an O-ring.
It's an oil plug, guys.
Next, we're going to the tranny.
Yes, sir.
Tranny. As you can see, it's right there. Have the catcher nearby.
Not that much comes out of this, so. Again with the putty. This one's not as bad as the oil, though.
That comes out, then you don't wipe off the plug yet because you want to inspect the metal top, make sure there's no shavings. Like so, nice and clean.
That one will, if you look, is gonna need a new O-ring.
Oh yeah, that thing is shredded. They tightened the shit out of it.
Yes, they did.
They did too many ugga-duggas.
It's just an Ugga, by the way, guys. Just for y'all that didn't know, it's just an Ugga. It's not Ugga-dugga.
Ugga-dugga, ugga-dugga, ugga. No,
It's
don't
in
need all
pieces.
that.
It's in pieces.
Because that's what happens right there. Way to go, Harley. All right, so obviously put the transmission plug back in. We put a new O-ring on. You can see here. Tom went ahead and already threw it on. Don't need to film that. But Harley calls for filling up the transmission on the jiffy stand, so not while it's level. But you only need 28 ounces. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove 4, put in this measuring cup, and then leave this line at 28, and then fill it from the, we're going to remove the side cover and fill it from there. All right, as you can see, we removed it. We're at the 28. So now we're going to go to the transmission fill hole, put it in there. All right, so this has to come off here. And that is a 25 to take it off. That gives us access to the tranny hole.
You're so long. That's what she said.
I was at the tranny hole.
Accessing your tranny hole here, buddy.
Comes off super easy.
Especially when they're new.
Grab that guy. And as you can see, it's right here. I don't know how well the lighting is. And that's actually an Allen head. So you gotta unscrew that, and that is your dipstick. Take that off. It's a 10 little Allen head. It's plastic, so it's not gonna be in there too hard.
No.
And really, these are almost like in there hand tight. But it's best to have something with an angle, because you have this part up here that's totally in the way. So basically, we loosen that out. We got the plug back in at the bottom, and when you fill the transmission fluid, you take it off of the level stand and then put it on the Jiffy stand. This Harley has a specific tolerance level, but I think we measured it out anyway, so we should be good. Then move that damn thing out of the way. All right, so we're gonna lower this thing, get it in there. All right, y'all, we are doing training.
I get to hold the camera.
The 28 ounces, or what are they? Yeah, they're ounces.
Sure it's not 28 liters?
Black part that goes underneath.
For you guys that don't know, and I'm gonna speak a little here, I was just letting old Robo-Rider here know about it. These new Harleys, these new M8s are very EPA approved. So what that means is a lot of regulatory parts that kind of are unnecessary in a system that's kind of unnecessary. So what you can do is right here, this is your transmission cover. There is a couple companies that make vented covers, like Checkmate. Check M8 is the name of it. Nice CNC makes one, and it will vent your transmission, which disperses the heat externally, which makes your engine run cooler. And anybody that knows about your engine running cooler knows that it's better to run cooler. There's also different breathers and different bolts that you can get to bypass the blowback that goes back in through your air cleaner into your pistons and causes K-cup. Shout out to DK Customs for teaching us that one. They have a lot of videos on it.
So check that out. That might be something I look into. All right, so all you do is you hand tighten this back in to check the level. Pretty self-explanatory. You don't cross thread it because it is plastic. All right, we'll let Tom go in there. My fingers are still numb from neck surgery, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, I can't feel nothing either. Don't feel bad. Couldn't help it's plastic. I wish they made an aluminum one. I have the same problem. Don't feel bad. Everybody does. It's a pain. There we go.
There we go. All right, so you want to screw it down, just kind of barely tight it all.
But you don't want to make it tight to start with.
And then
Just finger tight.
finger tight, then we're gonna back it back out and check it and make sure it's within the tolerance level.
And we gotta fight it again to get it back in.
All right, so you guys will see, you want it right in between there. So we actually need to add a little bit more. And remember, we took the 4 ounces out. So all we gotta do is put the funnel back on and maybe add about 2, because you want it right on that X in the middle.
I'd say 2.
All right, so this is the extra 4. We're gonna do about half of it. So we wanna be between those lines. Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, that's pretty much all.
Yeah.
That is, guys, if you drain it completely all the way. So if you don't wait for it to continually drain and there's not a bunch of dripping, there's gonna be some left in there. If it's not hot, there's gonna be some left in there. Remember that.
All right, so we got that. Now we're gonna double check. And this is the only one that really matters to be that accurate on. Oil, you get a lot more tolerance. This training, as you saw, that gap was barely anything. Because it's easy to add, it's harder to take away. And as you can see, we are right there before the line, so that should be just fine. I probably put too much in, but
It's all right. As long as it don't go past that top of the hourglass, you're okay. So basically a quart. Drained all the way.
and really that Amsoil fluid smells good to me.
It tastes good too.
We don't recommend eating or drinking it. BT does.
Put it on a burrito.
All right, and as y'all know, that is a plastic part. So when we get it on there, just
Do not cross
turn it just a little bit more. And yeah, you don't want to cross thread it. So if you're feeling it fighting back, you back out. And get it
There
on
we go.
straight.
There we go.
Should be nice and easy, just like that.
And torque it to 96 foot-pounds.
Don't do that.
It was a joke, guys. It was a joke.
So as you can see, he's getting on there, and then we're barely gonna turn it.
But see that? That's all I'm doing is just giving it just the weight of the ratchet.
There you go. That's all you need. Nothing more. Then the cover goes back on. Tranny's done. Next, we're gonna go on to the oil, baby.
Guess what? We finished off a tranny.
All right, y'all. This is the Amsoil V Twin oil change kit. Comes with everything you need. The oil filter. 5 quarts of oil. Here's the oil filter. And Harley calls for 4 quarts, but they give you 5. So we're obviously going to put it in and test it. All right, y'all, we got to take the oil filter off. Here's a little trick. You can throw some tinfoil under there. Keep your bike clean, keep the floor clean.
I'll show you another trick. Because once you take that off, it starts to come out from up there.
Drill, baby, drill. Obviously, we're putting a new one on, so it doesn't matter.
I hope you brought the new one.
It was in the kit. That would suck.
Would it?
What the fuck?
Yep, that's a 636.
God damn. That motherfucker popped.
So as you guys see,
When you take it out, you don't drop all the oil everywhere.
exactly, it won't go on that side, and you have to clean up your bike and everything. So,
Yep.
cool little tip.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass to clean it back there. Might as well just wash it at that point.
Yeah. Here with the crew.
That's how I was when the lesbians were on the ride.
What? You a lesbian?
Poor Bambi.
Hey, how you doing, sir? Yeah. Hi to you too.
Hey, buddy.
You slept with me last night? I slept with you last night? Yeah.
And as you guys see, there's a little cutout in this. Coming off super easy.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because a lot of them don't.
Typically, if Harley put them in and tighten the hell out of them too. As you can see, it's off. Here's some dirt kit oil.
Finally meet you. Yeah, you too. We got a little bit back there, but not much.
Not as bad as it would have been.
No, by any means.
And this is the new one. Comes in the kit.
That looks pretty cool.
So really convenient.
Yeah, I want to do a tan and black.
And you prep it with a little bit of new oil.
Classic.
Because it's yours and I'm gonna be nice, I'm gonna use the fresh oil to put on the ring.
You could dip your finger in there.
That's what I usually do. If it's mine, I just dip my finger in that. Because all it is just for this, to slide it over and make a nice seal.
Big thing with these, you do not tighten the hell out of them.
No. Hand tight, guys.
Hand tight.
Hand tight. I don't care what Harley's spec says about torquing it to whatever they say to torque it. Don't.
You get to where the rubber touches, then twist maybe halfway a little more. Like, that's it.
Hand tight. You can't get your hand wrapped around that too hard, so it's finger tight, actually.
And also, you don't, like a car, you don't have to fill it halfway or anything like that. Harley doesn't call for that. Cars, it's flipped upside down, you're going like that. This is going in sideways, so it's not a big deal.
All right, fill her up, brother.
Then you go over here. This is pretty self-explanatory. Shout out Eagle Lights, temperature reading dipstick. There's a link in one of my videos if you want this. And we're gonna dump in 4 and then check it. All right, y'all, so we're putting it in. I'm gonna do about 3.5 because it calls for 4. Let the bike run a little bit and then check it again. So we'll go ahead and fast forward to that because pouring oil is pretty self-explanatory. Shout out to Amsoil. All right, we got 3.5 in. We're gonna turn on the bike and check the level. All right, y'all, I got Tom's stock stick because it measures better and easier to get on and off. So after running it, checked it a few times, and I ended up putting in all 5 quarts from the oil change kit. We did let it fully drain, so that's probably the reason why.
Come here and learn where it's all at. Hold your roll in, make sure it gets pulled out.
There we go. We are good to go. All right, y'all, we got it all wrapped up, all put back together. Thanks to Twisty Tom.
On to the next projects.
All the projects. We got Hannah over there putting new fairings on. I don't know if I want to expose them yet because maybe she doesn't want to show people yet.
The MT-07 is next, or the FZ-07 is next. Because the guy with the broken ankle over there looped it, so.
Oh, loopers. But yeah, we got everything put back together and we'll be set to ride to Leesburg Bike Fest tomorrow. I don't know how many are
I'll
going.
be there. I don't know.
Well, I'll be there.
We'll be there. All these will be there, and we're going to meet up with another crew. There were supposed to be a few people going, other than us. And when I said, hey, we'll show up, this is about half of our regular crew here. So they were like, well, that's a lot of people. Can you please lead the ride, he says. So I was like, yes, I can. I guess he has to work, so.
And the group we're talking about, Lakeland Motor Riders, you can find us on Facebook. When you request to join, there's 3 questions to answer. Please answer the questions. Then a couple of us are moderators. We can accept you. We do events, rides all the time. There's random rides all the time. People make events and you just show up and go. So if you're looking for people to ride with, we're here.
We are here. We ride every day. We have groups inside the group. You can join the Discord that's on there. There's plenty of rides every day and night. Every night as well. We got a group in there we call the Vampires because they ride at night. And there is always something to do with them. Always. More than any other group I've ever been a part of.
And if you guys notice in the videos, you see I have my phone up here with Discord on, and that's in our Cardos or Sennas, whatever people have. It routes through the phone like a phone call into Discord so we can all hear each other. And then you see how I overlaid on the video. Tom actually uses a Y cable to split off.
Yeah, like 3 of them in my helmet, which is not fun, but I don't have all the fancy setup like Robo Rider here.
And he uses like an attenuator cable, which reduces the volume. So for him, he can edit on his phone and just go with it. Me, I do it all in post and all the nerdy stuff. So yeah, hit the like, subscribe button. Hope this helped you. I know Tom did a lot of advice and walkthrough with it. So I haven't really seen videos for a three hole oil change on a 22 Low Rider S. So there you go. As I always say, ride safe, keep 2 wheels down.
Or one.
At least keep 1 wheel down. Peace.